At first, obviously, like everyone else, just getting the game and playing through the single player modes and playing with friends, you know, after school, and yeah, just playing through the game. And there's just so much to do in Melee, and even in the single player game, it's such a big game. So yeah, playing through it as a kid, and then, you know, friends would come around and we would say, oh, remember when we used to play Smash, whip it out. And then in high school, some friends got, you know, a bit competitive with it and started playing it after school and talking trash at school and stuff. So yeah, that kind of spurred me to want to play a bit more. And then the American Smash Brothers documentary came out, and that brought me kind of back to the game after being off it for a few years. And I looked online and there were no tournaments online coming up in Australia, so I was like, well, I'll just run my own then so that we can play.
I got it when I was probably 6 years old and played it, you know, throughout my life a little bit, but then about a year or two ago my friend had it and we just started playing it a lot, and it got me really interested, so I kept playing it more and more.
In about 1990, sometime in the 90s, I got the original Smash. I rented it, and it was unlike anything. I hadn't even played a fighting game. It was unlike anything I'd played before, and I just fell in love with it. I didn't even know about it. All I knew about it was Mario and Pikachu, and it actually introduced me to a lot of other Nintendo franchises like Zelda, Metroid, and even Metal Gear. So it's really good in that regard, I find.
Mainly the fact that it was being played at most of the parties I was going to. My first copy was Melee yet again. It's more of just a childhood thing, really.
I've definitely developed friendships with a lot of people in the Smash community. It's to the point now where I don't even come for the Smash, I come for the friends. I know these people, and it's good.
It's weird. I think Smash, in a way, because we all take it so seriously, it creates friendships faster because you see the best and you see people at their best and worst. It allows people to be vulnerable to each other in a way that it's just a game, but when you invest yourself into something, it makes friendships quicker because you go through this stuff and, you know, you meet each other once a month every Sunday, and then, you know, I just was posting online and some dude said, hey, come down to our house and play Smash with us in Port Melbourne. And 3 years later, they're some of my closest friends, or 2 years later, you know, I go down there, we play crew battles together, you know, like 5v5, and those guys are, yeah, some of my closest friends who I talk to every day now.
It's more that I've been playing with existing friends. I don't really normally play in more of a open party setting. I normally am playing with people I do know.
I'd say I prefer Project M, which is a mod of Brawl. That's actually what we're playing today. It's a mod of Brawl to make it more like Melee, pretty much. It got some flack when it started, but I think that the community has learned to appreciate it, which is good.
I prefer the 64 one, on the Nintendo 64. I just like the mechanics better, and it's a pretty fun, you know, party game with friends, and at the same time you can take it serious if you want.
I have played through 64 to the modern day Smash Brothers. However, I was most prevalent in Melee, so haven't played incredibly often for quite a long time.
Definitely Melee's my favorite. I've been playing it since I was 8. It came out in 2002 and I got a copy of it in 2003 for Christmas when I got my GameCube, and it's been one of my favorite games ever since. Played it in high school a lot with buddies, and yeah, now I run tournaments and play competitively and do a whole lot of other stuff related to a game that's been around for 14 years. So Melee's been built in a way where it always stays fresh. Something always new happens when I'm playing Melee, which never happens in the other games for me. The other games get stale in a way that Melee just doesn't, and I think it's because of the range of movements that the characters have available, and when it's almost like a perfect circle in terms of one player does one thing and another player counters it with another, and that goes in a circular motion where the game it kind of just moves forward instead of just getting stale.
I feel the cast is relatable to a lot of people. It's games that you know, you play games like Street Fighter, and it's just these nobodies. Whereas in Smash, these people have a history. It's the same reason I think these crossover games work.
A little, yeah. I didn't start off that way, but I kind of thought, yeah, I'll try and get good at this game, and I eventually got better.
I'd say I used to be a lot more competitive. I still try to win, but at one point I was training like every night. I don't really do that anymore. I just play when I come to the tournaments at this point, because single player is no fun.
I'm definitely not very competitive. I am more used to a party setting and definitely having a little bit of fun with the game rather than treating it overly seriously.
I take it pretty seriously. I'm going today to go and train with Australia's best player, and yeah, staying at his house for a couple of days to practice for the upcoming BAM 7. It's going to be amazing. And so, yeah, when there's tournaments on, I take it pretty seriously, and I hope to be one of the better players one day.
Aggressive, and just I'm always running around and I always just want to fight. I never try and stay back or anything, because I just want to have fun in the end.
Really, really aggressive. I'm always pushing forward, and yeah, it's a bit sort of, it gets me in trouble at times, but it's the thing that I want to make work, and I get very frustrated at myself when I can't do the aggressive plays that I want to make, but a lot of the time, yeah, I'm go, go, go.
Oh God, Pikachu or Little Mac? Until I have to jump.
Fox definitely in Melee, because he's all about that lifestyle of like go big or go home. Like you either get your big combo and you just, you know, everything works out, or you kill yourself essentially.
Yeah, Captain Falcon is probably my favourite. I play Jigglypuff every now and then, because I know she's pretty fun as well.
It depends on the game, really, because all the Smash games are different. If I'm using Snake in Project M, then there's a lot of laying traps and being sneaky. Okay, not being sneaky, but laying traps. Melee Sheik is more just fast, get in the opponent's face, just throw them around. And in Smash 4, Ness is just abuse all of the moves that they've programmed badly.
It depends. If you know, me and the homies are just mucking around playing on a setup, we'll all play, you know, Link and put items on and have fun with just whatever characters. But yeah, if I'm seriously practicing at home, or you know, I want to beat somebody, or if I'm at a tournament, it's pretty much always just Fox. Other than that though, I have kind of like a secondary Marth, but I don't really play him too often.
I normally random, so if I get Pikachu or Little Mac, I tend to do fairly well, but most of the time I don't.
Yeah, definitely. My friend Sam, who I'm going to go play with today up in Gippsland, is probably Australia's best player, or contested for best player, and him and the other best Victorian player kind of go backwards and forwards, and it's either one of the two of those wins the major, and it's kind of like, are you a Sam fan or a Dave fan kind of thing. You know, everybody's got their favourite, and yeah, it's Grand Finals is always those two, and they've had a really long rivalry. They're good friends, but yeah, they hate losing to each other, and there's a bit of heartbreak no matter who loses really in the big majors between those two.
Yeah, most definitely, especially with the implementation of the 8-player mode. It tends to be very much oriented towards the party crowd and not so much towards the competitive crowd.
I'd say at one point when Brawl was out, it was sort of dying. But then when Project M came out, it got a lot of new life, and Smash 4, it's got even more new life. So I'd say it's prospering at this time.
Yeah, definitely. I think, well, just now, you know, Miles Warehouse 1 had 50-something entrants for Melee, and that was the biggest Australian tournament up to that point. And, you know, Miles Warehouse 2 then had 90-something, I think, and now we're getting 100 almost for Smash 4, at least at monthly tournaments, and BAM's going to have 200 for Melee, I reckon. So yeah, it's quadrupled in size since I've been around.
Just playing with my friends, really. Sometimes we, you know, just some funny stuff happens or some crazy stuff happens when we play with them.
I think the time I won $20 in a Monash tournament, it wasn't much, but it was something. I haven't really won much since. I usually, in Melee, I usually get to like 5th or 9th, maybe a bit lower nowadays, but still, I get up there.
My favorite experience was Well, when I first swapped to playing Fox and first started putting in a lot of practice to the game, I went to a tournament at RMIT actually, which was just a friendly casual tournament, but one of Victoria's best players was there and he plays Fox, and he's a really nice guy. I've practiced with him a lot, but I sat down to play him and he did what's called double four-stocking me, which is not losing a life during our set, so it was 2-0 of a best of 3 without losing a life. And so that was pretty daunting for me. I got crushed pretty hard. You know, it's like you practice a lot and then, you know, you don't even touch one of the best players. And then about 8 months later, at Shadaloo Showdown, which was another major tournament, I came back and beat him 2-1 in a really close nail-biting game, and that definitely had to be my favourite moment.